Startups often face the challenge of having little or no funding, and one of the ways to support them in the early stages is to provide basic infrastructure for them to continue building until the product or service starts gaining customers. This has led to the popularity of incubation centers and co-working spaces. Our guest is Doyin Adewola, founder, CEO, Box Office, and he joins us to discuss the importance of co-working spaces.
Doyin, welcome to Tech Trends.
Thank you, Fred.
How's the journey been so far?
It's been tough, interesting, it's been fun. I would say a roller coaster of some sort. Yeah, but we've learned a lot and we're stronger for it.
Why did you decide to be a founder of a co-working space where other startups work from?
Okay, I would say it's been more of a passion for me. It could have been anything. Could have been food business, transport business. But my passion, I love to solve problems. I'm creative. I like to innovate. I like to serve people. I would say it was just being sensitive to a problem in my environment, and I gave it a shot.
Okay, so in the city of Abuja, where rent is not cheap, how are you dealing with the challenges of paying your rent?
So first, our model solves quite some part of that problem because we leverage on economies of scale. We're able to get as many entrepreneurs in the same facility, and the cost is split across board. So first, we're able to reduce cost to the barest minimum. However, the major challenges of rent still remain. So we got some form of concession from the property owners to allow us make payments flexible. We make payment of rent very flexible. Normally, you pay rent in annually or biannually or even 2 years in advance. But for us, we're able to get a good deal, and that has helped us a lot.
As startups who don't have money and who are probably trying to make ends meet, able to afford your services?
Not all our clients are startups, so we have different categories. Our model is not just for startups. It's more like a situation where we have anchor clients who are very established businesses. They are the ones who've been in business for 5-10 years. They are able to afford the rent, get big spaces, and we now have another category of entrepreneurs who are smaller. So those are the ones that go for the lower rates offices, the cheaper offices, the more affordable ones. So, but the truth again is that most times entrepreneurs just bear the last 6 months, and that's about the limit. That's about the trend. They just go out of business because the stress is real on them. They cannot continue in the business. Yeah.
Considering the fact that what you're doing is valuable for the ecosystem, have you received any form of support from government?
No, we're not getting support from the government. Our growth has been very organic. The problem of rent is very fundamental to businesses in Abuja. And the way Abuja is, the climate, it's not like Lagos where you have clusters in different areas that can be independent. Abuja, if you're not in the city center, then it means you may not be so serious about your business. So everybody just wants to be around the business, central business district. So meaning there is demand for our product, there's demand for our services, and that has just been the model for us. It's been very organic. Our growth has just been that way.
How impactful has your organization been to building an ecosystem in Abuja?
We're a co-working space, and co-working, as you know, is just a style of working where people leverage on each other's expertise. It's also like a shared environment, shared resources, and the impact is that businesses are able to reduce their risk when they're starting their business. So rather than you pay your rent for 1 year or for 2 years, with our model, Box Office, you can have a day office, you can have a month, 3 months, which helps you to understand your business. It also helps you to reduce risk. Our model also helps you to concentrate on your business where you don't have to buy your furniture, you don't have to buy your generator. You go to some properties and you see that every business has got a generator in front of them. For us, it's a shared service. It's a communal kind of service. So businesses are able to start up at very low cost. They reduce risk, and they can also leverage on other clients in the environment because they are like-minded people, they are innovative clients around. They can work together to build their business. Jobs are created because when a business is started, they most likely want to employ 1 or 2 people, and job creation, wealth creation too, and keep solving the problems.
In terms of numbers, what would you say has been the value that you have brought to the ecosystem in Abuja?
At the moment, we have about 67 businesses in our 2 centers in Abuja. But over 4 years, we've worked with about 200 businesses. Some of them have not been able to last for more than 3 months, some 6 months, some 1 year. But if you look at that gap, it's been about 200 businesses cumulatively that have worked out of our space.
How impactful has Box Office been to developing a community in the city of Abuja?
Okay, first you must understand that there are some services or some services that are cut across everybody. Everybody needs power to work. Everybody needs a workspace that is conducive. You understand? Everybody needs an environment that would make them thrive. So we must identify that co-working space has come to stay. It's an industry that is well advanced in other parts of the world. So I also know that the entrepreneurial vibe in Nigeria is beginning to grow by the day. So government must pay attention. For instance, there are a lot of properties that are abandoned, that are not properly managed. Say, for instance, EFCC seizes a property and it's there for years. Those spaces can become where entrepreneurs can meet together, turn them into some form of co-working environment, some clusters for technology businesses to grow. Workspace is a fundamental need of businesses.
I've been around a few places, and each time I travel, I try to visit hubs and co-working facilities just to see how they operate. Yeah. And I noticed that government has a lot of role to play in some of those places. Yeah. Why is it different in Nigeria, and how can we make it better?
First, government must first understand the impact co-working spaces, incubators, accelerators are creating in Nigeria. Because if you do not know the benefit of something, it may be difficult for you to also support that. So first, government must begin to strengthen what is working. There are a lot of people in this space providing co-working spaces, people doing incubation. You have some venture capitalists coming up, and government must strengthen them. There are different ways you can strengthen them. For instance, you look at our space where rent has become a major issue. We can partner with government to allow people in this industry to use spaces government owns.
Instead of reinventing the wheel of building their own.
Building. So government does not have to, every time they come into power, create programs to support entrepreneurs. You can easily look at what is working and strengthen them, basically.
Do you see a future in co-working spaces, not just in Abuja, but across Nigeria?
Definitely. When we started Box Office, we were just about 3 or 4 in Abuja. But now I could count up to 15 providers of co-working spaces in Abuja. What it means is that there is demand. First, people do not no more want to invest in assets that may go obsolete in a short time. Capital expenditure must also be reduced to a bare minimum. So people are looking at co-working space as a model to make better use of their facilities. What it also means is that because it helps businesses to reduce their cost, people are beginning to look away from the traditional office system. It also even affects the residential apartments, where people are beginning to demand that when you build a house, you must install some things in it. For instance, there must be power, there must be solar, there must be a cooling system. It would be shared, you understand? In that way, you get to reduce your cost, and everybody benefits from it.
Finally, before I let you go, you have worked with tons of startups. Yeah. What are some of the tips that you can leave with our startups today?
I think startups must still understand that there is a need to start very small. People are not so patient to follow the process. You understand? I've been in this for 4 years, and I keep learning every day. People must understand that entrepreneurship is for the long haul. It's not the alternative. It's not what you do while you're trying to get a job. You understand? You have to make it your plan, and without any other alternative. So first, you must see entrepreneurship or small business building as a big deal. Across the world, small businesses form a major chunk of the GDP, a major chunk of the economy, and we must also see that around in Nigeria. So entrepreneurs must take their job very seriously. You must persevere, meaning that things may not work out sometimes, but you get stronger at those difficult times.
Though we wish you all the best, and we'll check up on you anytime we're here in the city of Abuja. Thank you for being on Tech Trends today.
Thank you, Fred.
It's a wrap on this edition of Tech Trends, but the conversation continues online. Please follow us on social media, and remember, you can watch the entire show on the channel's TV YouTube account or via my blog cfatech.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.